Hi there, welcome back to Not Another Budget. I'm Nicole, and on this channel I'm attempting to cash budget my way out of debt and just, I would say, fix every year's of financial misbehaviour. Let's just, yes, and also, like, how on earth am I going to navigate these next 6 weeks? Because, oh my gosh. Just excuse the continual minor meltdown. I am bringing you today, I don't know, it's a budget, but not a budget, but a list of expenses, but not the full list of expenses because my brain's slightly melted. And then there's no good way to go about this, so let's just see what happens. But before I even get to that, thank you so much to everyone who in the past week has bought something off my Vinted, commented, watched videos to get those watch hours in. Anyone who has purchased from my coffee online shop where I'm currently selling PDF printables, I went through last night, so Saturday evening, and added, I think, 18 more. There's now some bundle offers up there as well. So thank you so much for just going through and doing that. It does mean an awful lot. Etsy is still going to be a no-go for me. I'm still getting stuck on the review and verify, so I don't have really the time to sit and wait out Etsy's technical failings. So I am just going to proceed with Ko-fi or Coffee as my selling platform. There will, depending on how things go and depending on how things expand, I, may choose eventually to set up my own website away from that. But for now, I'm completely happy using them. They take very little in terms of fees, and the payment management system is completely fine. But so that's by the by. For those of you who are waiting for new printable products, they are now in the shop. There's 18 more. There are some holiday sinking fund challenges. There's the Zodiac challenges. And I've continued on my seasonal, like autumn, winter, spring, summer, etc. So they are also available, and I'll have to pause on that for a couple of days. And I do need to work out the tweaks on bringing you kind of some either printable budget binders, and then also hopefully can I actually get them for real, like as a real physical product. And same for my others, but we're going to talk about that later. Now I just need to show you what I think is going on with my money. Now I want to caveat this by saying, if you've been around here for a while, you have seen how meticulously I go over budgets, how meticulously I plan for them, how much I look at other impacts that go on there and try to account for them. Now, I don't ever account for everything, and we can't all do that. This is not my usual meticulously planned budget, okay? I am still very much in survival mode, still very much just battling with everything life is throwing at me, because 2024 is determined. It seems to be one of those years, basically. So I cannot guarantee that this is how things are going to end up. What I've done is I've jotted down some bills and I think some expenses. I don't know if they're all of my expenses. I'm fairly sure I've forgotten a few. And I've not even taken into account the fact that I'm going to probably have, for some of these, double bills on a single income month. But I'm just going to run you through what I have. The reality is that instead of doing this is my budget this week, it's probably going to be a case of, this is what I've spent this week across both bills, food, and everything else. And hoping for the best, basically, because I've opted out of as many Christmas and sociable things as I can, but I can't opt out of everything. So there we go. My wages are coming in tomorrow, so they're being paid in on Monday. Thank goodness for that, because I wouldn't have made it another couple of weeks without it, because the bank account is near to zero. £2,144.22 is my wages. That is slightly more higher than normal, and that is to account for 2 months of backdated pay increase after deductions, and I don't have my wage slip breakdown to track what those deductions are, so we will then get back on the tracking of my pension and my employer's pension contributions as well a little bit later on. Thanks to your lovely generosity, £30.31 is what is being sent to my account from Stripe, who manage the payments for the coffee shop. So they take very little. For context, in terms of how much is given in deductions and fees and things, I earned a total of £33 last week before deductions, and I'm receiving £30.31, which is significantly less in deductions than Etsy. So thank you to everyone who's donated and bought something from the shop. And in terms of pending orders, I've got £38.20 in dispatched orders waiting to come in from Vinted, giving me a total at the minute of £2,212. That's a comma, and that is a 1. £2,212.73, and that's before any extra Vinted, Stripe orders, anything like that. That's what I know is coming in over the course of this week. In terms of that breakdown, well, I've got rent for November, which I have to pay tomorrow, because I had to use the money I would have set aside for rent in October for all of the extra costs that just popped up, because there was no way that was going to happen. I've got Wi-Fi of £32. I've got car insurance of £99.25. I've got a mobile of £7.22. Water I've put at 20, and energy I've also put at 50 as well. So just paying something nominal on the accounts, but it's by nowhere near covering usage or like full or covering debt or usage. It is just like that's something nominal. And if needs be, it might need even to be less than that. We'll see. Contents insurance I'm going to have to put on and start for, so I've estimated £15 for that. Prime is £4.49, YouTube is £12.99, and Spotify is £11.99. These three are my subscriptions that I continually have. And once again, if you've been around here for a while, you'll know that I will fight to keep these. For context, I don't pay for TV licensing in the UK. I've opted out. So that in itself, which you would normally appear in most UK budgets, doesn't appear in mine. So instead I have YouTube. And then Prime, it's £4.49 as a student. It's the price of a coffee. So I just won't have a coffee. And then Spotify is £11.99, and I use that tons. I even use it during school and stuff as well. So worth keeping, but I'll cut other things before I come to cut that in terms of sociable subscriptions, basically. In terms of flexible, so again, my bills do, on a standard month, my bills do tend to hover around the 1200, 12 to 1300 mark, which isn't too bad, all things considered, particularly if I look at obviously it being slightly higher than normal. But now I have got to cover 6 weeks, and this is obviously a month. This is 6 weeks of expenses. So I've put food at £2.50, I think. That's about £40 a week. Could be higher, could be lower. This is where I genuinely don't know. I'm pretty well stocked on cupboard staples, but realistically I could probably do with a big shop. Having not done a big shop for over a month now, I could probably do with like a big shop and getting like the toiletries and household stuff in, the cat food, which you can see down here in, and then some longer life, not like meat, more UHT milk, things like that in, and then doing a little bit of fresh each week, maybe. I don't know. Fuel is going to be about £2.50. Again, I think. It's about £40 a week, I think, and that's because I have got some extra driving to do within this 6-week period, even though I'm not in school for the last 2 weeks. I am doing something sociable. This is something I committed to at the end of September, and things have been prepaid, so kind of hard to opt out of now unless the weather says otherwise. But my sister and I are trying to visit cities that we've not visited in the UK, regardless of how far away they are from us. And one we've not visited is Oxford. And now I'm a massive Tolkien fan. She's a massive history fan. We both are. So yes, there are 3 museums, and we are very budget conscious. But for me, that is somewhere between let's just keep it vague, 2 to 4.5 hour drive with or without breaks from me, and that's in total. And so I will be driving that myself. Yes, she'll share on petrol, that's fine, that will kind of fill her in up here. What I've decided to do is put £50 on a prepaid debit card and use that for kind of what I would like to spend if I spend when I'm there, if we go out for lunch or anything like that, or we get a coffee. I think we're going to try and do park and ride, so the cost of that, getting myself a postcard because I'm a bit of a postcard fiend, and then I'll take £50 cash as backup with the intention of not spending. I also intend to be done on Christmas shopping by this point, so that I should withdraw the temptation of I'm going to, this would be perfect for Christmas because I've walked past it and seen it. I want to try and remove that. But again, this is something I committed to. I'm hopefully going to be able to manage it. I'll be fine to drive by then, all things considered with my ankle. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, basically. It's going to be a bit of a test and a bit of a push, but I do need to get out driving. And I'll be nice and healed up by then. Only just, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. Cat food, he just needs a little bit of a top up, so £25. But thankfully, his medicated, veterinary advised food is all completely fine. And I've got plenty of that and should have plenty of that through until to December. Medication, I think, for him is going to come into about £200, and I'm going to try and hold off. It's the grey area. This is why it's like, I don't know, because this could change. I would like to say that hopefully with his medication, if I stretch, they want him to have blood tests every 3 weeks for his thyroid, which is £99.80 a time. And then there could be a change to medication, which last month meant that his thyroid medication jumped from like £54 to £120. So I'm saying that all of his medication, including the £120 thyroid medication and his heart medication, should come to £200. And I am going to hold off, his health permitting, on booking that blood test at £100. I'm going to try and hold off until the new year when I get paid at the end of December. I know what to look for him in terms of his health and in terms of monitoring his thyroid levels. I just want, I think, to just keep him going with his medication and then go from there. Again, however, is if his health drops, if he needs treatment, if I do feel that actually, no, he's not responding so well to this and I'm not happy with what I'm seeing, I want him to go in and get looked at, that's going to completely change this. Christmas meal, staff Christmas meal, we have prepaid for the food, but we have since found out that the money we've paid only covers the food. It doesn't, and like one drink at the table. So I'm going to take £20. That should cover a tip, my contribution towards a tip, and also drinks and stuff. And I'm non-alcoholic, but as I am non-alcoholic, I am a designated driver. So hopefully my colleagues will contribute towards my fuel costs. If they don't, however, there's an extra £10 there for me to chuck in if I need to, and go from there. So that is, and also we might go on somewhere afterwards. I don't really know yet. I'm going to be tied to whatever the people who I'm driving are taking home. And then we come to Christmas itself. Now, you've not seen me in this position before. I'm normally done by Christmas at this point. I don't like getting to, for me, my last payday before Christmas. Now, to my knowledge, my school is not paying us early for Christmas. Some employers in the UK pay you like the last Friday before Christmas because the payroll departments won't operate between Christmas and New Year's. It ultimately like screws you over massively for January because you could potentially be facing a 6 to 6.5 week month. But to my knowledge, we're not paid early. We're being paid on that last day. We've had no communications through to say that they are paying us early at all. So I'm working. This has worked on the assumption that I'm not getting an early Christmas payday. So therefore, I have no more paydays before Christmas. I have this one, and I'm not done for Christmas. I normally am, and that's because I don't like. It's a couple of things. I know that historically I've not had the money to do Christmas, the payday before Christmas. I also can't stand going into shopping centres around people who are Christmas shopping, and I get stressed out by online delivery on the run up to Christmas because it's just devolves into anarchy in the UK. So I like to be done. I like to be organised, and I'm not done, and I'm not feeling very organised. And I'm now working in a school and we're doing things. So I know it's really silly. We're doing a Christmas jumper day where we are fundraising for the school, and we are not a school with money. So, it's £1. You bring £1 and you wear a Christmas jumper, and we have Christmas competitions, who's got the best novelty one, which is all well and good. But I don't have Christmas jumpers. I don't wear them. So, I think I've got one, but it's about 4 sizes too small because I had it like 8 years ago. So 9, 10 possibly. How old was I? 10 years ago. So it doesn't fit. I don't even think it would go over my head at the minute. That's how much things have changed. And I don't have Christmas jumpers, so I can't take part in Christmas jumper day when I need to take part in Christmas jumper day. So yes, I'll go on Vinted. I'll look for something secondhand, and I'll look for things and do it that way. I've still got Christmas presents to buy. I kind of need to get my mum a Christmas present, even though there is a handmade element to what I'm doing to her. That handmade element does have associated costs, and also there is something which she really, really wants, and I want to get it for her. We're not talking a huge amount of money, but there is that. Who else am I not done? I've got remaining grandparents that I need to contribute for. The grandchildren are going in on something, but I need to make my contribution. The staff, whole school staff, Christmas, fundraising days and stuff that we are doing and taking part in, and the charity stuff, and all of that, my contribution. Mum is hosting Christmas, so we all turn up with something. So, and we all share the cost of that now that the children are adults, and she's also hosting my grandparents this year as well. So we've all agreed that we're going to cook and prepare and cover the cost of a dish. My brother can't cook and he lives at home, so he's contributing the desserts that don't need to be cooked, but obviously have a cost thing. So there's all of that. So I've put 150 again. I don't know if it's enough. It might have to be. Come on, Bowie. You're going to come up and say hi to everyone. Come show everyone how you are. Come here. Come here. The cat's just going to introduce himself if you've not met him already. And for those of you that have been around here for a while, you want to come and see Mr. B? Hi. Come and say hi to people. Come on. Let's just can we... Here he is. Here he is. Look at all that mess. That's why we've not done a filming video in here. Yeah, I know. I'm stressed too. It's costing me loads of money, and I love you dearly. Yeah, you purr. You purr. We'll just come back to the video later, guys, okay? You purr. You can't have any more dreamies. No. No, you can't. You can twitch your tail all you want. You can't have any more. No, because it's dinner time soon. Anyway, so I put 150. I don't know. Guys, the whole theme of this is I don't know. I've jotted down some categories. I don't know if it's correct or not, and I'm just going to be brutally honest. And I know that there's going to be a few of you being like, oh, I wouldn't have this, or I wouldn't have this, or I wouldn't do this, or I wouldn't do this. And it's like, yeah, no, probably. I just haven't got the energy to really delve down into it, and I need something written down in paper as a rough guide before I get paid tomorrow. And there we go. I've still put in personal spending, £120, £20 a week. It's 6 weeks. If I don't put something in, I tend to go a bit mental, and yeah, I can't do cold turkey. Been there, tried far too many times. I can't go cold turkey. The only thing I go cold turkey on is alcohol, and that's because of trigger warning history. And therefore there was kind of other things. I can't go cold turkey at the minute on spending. I have to put something down. Even though, yes, it's the run up to Christmas. Even though, yes, I'm going to Oxford. Even though, yes, there's a Christmas meal. Even though I'm getting myself a Christmas, I like all of those things, even though, yes, I know, I have to put something down. Whether I spend it or not is a different matter, but I have to put something down. I'm not, the all or nothing cold turkey method has never worked with me, and it's not for lack of trying. And as I say, alcohol was the only thing it worked on, and that's because there were other factors at play. And that's all I'm prepared to say on that. And then finally, household, laundry, detergent, washing liquid, toilet roll, etc., etc. I did do a fairly big stock up in September, but it wasn't big enough, and I need to get some more. So at the minute, my flexible spending, despite having £1,009.74, is actually 1,140. So something's going to have to change somewhere. And I've got, therefore, a minus of £130.26. So, like I said, I've written things down. I don't know if they're going to be accurate or not. It was more just get things down and then find out afterwards. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest with you guys. I'd much rather be honest rather than like put together what a quote unquote picture perfect budget where everything adds up and none of it is real. And I'm not, that sounds bitchy. I'm not saying that's what happens on YouTube. No, oh God, I'm digging myself a hole, the grave. I'm digging a grave. Bowie, tell me to stop. Yes, that is a massive amount of mess over there. Yes. I'm well overdue a few videos on this channel, okay? And one of them is sorting and organising the house. Forgive me, I broke a bone, kind of. No, I'm just saying I could do you a picture perfect budget where everything adds up and my categories are beautifully aligned and they feel realistic. And they wouldn't be real at all. So I'm just not going to do that. Yes, there is a shortfall. I am hoping for, and this is on me to put out the videos for you guys to watch. This will not happen because I am very much hovering on the edge of I will qualify for a payment if I continue to put out videos between now and the end of November. 12 days. Video a day? No, I can't do that. Tell me no, Bowie. Tell me no. Okay. I'm hovering on the edge of I will either qualify for a payment in December, to pay in December, or I will miss it and I will get it paid in other times instead. Obviously there is YouTube, there is also Vinted, which I will carry on doing. There is hopefully and very much relying on the goodwill and generosity of my viewers, you lovely lot here, those that continue to and have supported the Stripe/coffee. There is that. And then tied into that is something I want to bring us back to, which basically puts this into a massive question mark. I'm fully aware that for quite a lot of people, they don't want a printable product, and I completely accept it. For my international viewers, for the type of products that I'm offering, it's a way of accessing what I'm offering without the need to battle the international post system, wherein the postage would far outweigh the value of the item itself, and the reliability around it, particularly this time of year, is next to nil. So I know that my printable products are likely to appeal to my international viewers. However, domestically, within the UK, not many of us have printers anymore. I'm unusual. I have a printer. If I think about my immediate family, I have a printer and my mum has the printer. My dad and brother obviously live in that house. I've got friends who don't have them. My neighbour and her son, who goes to secondary school, doesn't have one. I know kids who I teach don't have printers at home. So realistically as well, we're quite well set up to post those items. However, I do have an issue at the minute around getting them released. I know that I could probably, if I were to offer physical products, even if it was just savings challenges, this side of Christmas, I could increase and get to make up this shortfall. There is, however, a question of time. So I do it myself. I'm just going to move you, sweetie. I'm just going to move you. It's fine. It's fine. Just. Thank you. I do it myself. I continue as I have been, laminating, trying to snatch hours. I've got a master's assignment being released tomorrow. I'm 4 weeks behind on the work. I don't know what the assignment is because I've not even got up to that week to cover it. It's being released tomorrow. I have until the 27th of November to submit something. I don't know what the something is, so just over a calendar week. It's a peer review of some sort. I don't know if that's just it or if there is something else within that. I'm behind on it. I've got this. I've obviously got food shopping to sort out. There's so much on my time and that I need to think of and I need to take into account. But I do have and am slowly queuing up physical products which I could print, laminate to a certain degree and do at home and prep at home. And that is a time issue when my time is already really squeezed. Or do I go down the route of snatching from all of this, like a bit from here and a bit from here, tiny bit from here. Can't really touch the cat stuff and really the Christmas meal, but I could touch a little bit from Christmas, take from my spending and take from my household. Do I take from all of these and do I actually purchase stock? And by stock I mean printed for me, laminated for me savings challenges, and buy a bulk amount for all the designs that I've released so far. So no new designs, but all of them available as printed products. Do I say, right, I'm going to spend X amount, and it's probably £200 to £300 by the time we take into account VAT and things like that, and go, yes, it's an outlay. It's an outlay which I'm fairly sure I could get back. Obviously, profit involved in that as well. And do I do that stock up now and hope that not only I make that money back, so let's just say 250 for ease of numbers, not only do I make that back, but also I make it back with extra. Because what I've also not accounted for in here, because I can't account for it, is that's got to be times 2, that's times 2, that's times 2, that's times 2. If I want to be good and pay the bill, that's times 2, 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 that's times 2. So I've got about £1,300. No, let's just round it up. I've got about £1,400 I need to find between now and then. And this is why, and I know it's really silly, and I say this every time, this is why when I need to find £1,400, and I know it's silly, slashing these 3 doesn't touch the sides. So the joy and the well-being that it gives me, because I, like me, paying to do an outing, let alone going on an outing, me going to a Christmas meal with my colleagues, if I hadn't prepaid for it, I wouldn't be going. That's all that I need to be quite happy at home doing things. That's my cost. That's my social cost. I don't eat out. I don't do takeaway. I don't do anything like that. So it's a drop in the ocean when I think about the £1,400 that I need to find, and I don't think I'm going to find that through Vinted, and I'll be amazed on PDF printables if I can find that through there. The key one that I need to find is this £9.50. That's non-negotiable. These, and this is not good budgeting advice, if these don't go out when they're meant to, not ideal, but the world's not going to end. This is non-negotiable, has to go out on the 17th of December, which is middle of the week. It's technically due today for November, but I don't get paid until tomorrow, and because when it's due over the weekend, we pay on the following Monday. That'll go in tomorrow, and that covers that. What do you do? So I have got to consider, do I take the financial plunge before I put anything into categories and envelopes? Do I take the financial plunge? Do I order in to give me that physical stock this side of Christmas? And yes, it will only be savings challenges of all of the designs that I've got in physical copy. Do I do that? Do I take the financial plunge? And do I hope on a prayer that it works? Or do I not? Because my time is really limited. Like I'm really limited on time. with the masters as well. So this is the time versus money argument, and that is where we're going to leave today's video today. It's another shit show, guys. It's financially another shit show. The whole September to December period has just been an absolute financial shit show. And I want to clarify, I can't take on debt, can't put anything on a credit card, can't take out a loan and pay it back when I get my student loan in. I can't put anything on a payment plan. I just have to work with the cash that I've got in my account. That's it. So there is that as well. I can't do something on a short-term basis, or temporarily increase my debt to get me out of this. Like, I just have to work it out. So, obviously, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, particularly around this. Don't take this the wrong way. I don't really care. I mean, I'm going to sound like an absolute cow here. I've heard the argument for scrapping this so many times before. It's not been successful then. It will not be successful now. So please save your words. Save your words. Save them for someone else. These are staying. I'm more interested to hear what you guys would do around this. Let me know your thoughts either are, because I'm stuck. I'm going back and forward on it, basically. The categories themselves are non-negotiable. The amounts are shuffleable, but not by much. So yeah. On that note, you lovely lot, and thank you once again for supporting me as you have done this past week. It has not gone unnoticed, and I really, really, really do appreciate it. So thank you ever so much. I'm now going to love you and leave you. I've got a cat that needs fed. I need feeding. Yeah, it's going to be a fun week. I'm going to see you all very soon. Bye-bye for now.